Well, I'm the only justice on the Minnesota Supreme Court who came directly to the court from private practice. So I'd never worn a black robe before. And so I remember my first day as a judge and on this court in very great detail. It started at 8 o'clock in the morning when I was sworn in privately by the Chief Justice in her chambers. My mom and dad were there, which I'm glad they were alive to see that moment. They were very proud of their eldest son. And then 1 hour later, 9 o'clock, I was coming onto the bench. Now, I'd never worn a black robe before, so I put on the black robe in my chambers, and then I looked in the mirror maybe for a few seconds longer than I needed to. And then when the gavel came down, bang, 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 all rise for the Supreme Court of the state of Minnesota, I came in. And I was kind of worried about, there are 7 justices, of course, and I was kind of worried, would I go to the right seat? But as I came in the back, I saw that someone had thoughtfully put up a sticker that said Lillehaug with an arrow, so I knew exactly which seat to go to. And then the oral argument started. I tried to wait until everybody else had asked a question before I asked a question. I love oral argument. I loved it as an attorney. I love it as a justice. And I've got to try to put on the governor to make sure that I don't ask too many questions. But I did start asking questions, became comfortable in the role. And then the gavel came down, and it was one of the fastest hours of my life. We were done with oral argument. Then we went into our conference room. You may not know that when we hear a case, we then immediately go to our conference room and decide the case. And in that particular case, it was the Chief Justice who started speaking, and then we went down the table in order of seniority, so I was the last one to speak and to vote. And I remember pretty clearly that the votes started to be divided. And so I tried to figure out what's going on here. And then for a moment I thought, oh my God, the vote could be 3-3, and I could be the decisive vote on a 4-3 decision deciding the case in my first case as a Supreme Court justice. And then time just kind of sat still. My stomach sank. I was thinking to myself, as a lawyer, I cited Supreme Court cases from 1867, 1879. I was thinking, what's somebody going to think seeing the name Lillehaug on a Minnesota Supreme Court decision? They may say, I hope they say, that's a funny name, never heard of him before, but it's a clear opinion, it's well-reasoned, it's a good decision. And I was thinking about the responsibility that we have to make our decisions not just for today or tomorrow, but for the next decade, maybe the next 50, 100 years. All that just kind of went through my mind at that moment. Then here's the anticlimax to the story. The 4th vote came in before me. I was in dissent. I joined 3 dissenters, and I ended up writing a dissent in my first case. But I'll always remember that first day on the court. And if there's any surprise in the job, it was in that first day when the weight of responsibility really fell on my shoulders.